Hello everyone, LucciUnicornRod here bringing you the Destiny beta review that I've been mentioning in my videos for the past couple of days. This is pretty much my opinions and what I see of the game thus far, and this is the first time that I've done one of these, so I really appreciate you guys leaving me your feedback down in the comment section below. Don't hesitate. Obviously I'm not going to get upset or anything, but I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of these in the future. So without any further ado, I want to go ahead and slip into the review, so here we go. So the first thing that I noticed when I loaded the game was that the graphics were amazing. The cutscenes were flawless. Everything looks so crystal clear. I'm playing on PS3 and I can just imagine how beautiful new gen is gonna look. So Destiny is a game that takes place several hundred years into the future. It kind of has this whole post-apocalypse kind of feel to it. I have a brief paragraph telling more about the plot in the description below if you guys are interested in knowing more about the game itself. So go ahead and check that out. But the more that I played the game, the more the game reminded me of Mass Effect. Mass Effect was this kind of space kind of game, and this game automatically reminded me of that from the moment that I started off with my character. You have these three classes to pick from, and if you guys recall from Mass Effect, if you've ever played the game by EA, they have 6 or something classes. You know, they have the Vanguards, the Sentinels, and that's what it automatically clicked in my mind as. And I wasn't sure if I liked that. I wasn't sure if this game was going to be a ripoff of that game. And surprisingly, later on in the review, I explained how it's not, how this game has a little bit of its own twist to it. So anyways, going into the whole character customization, you have your 3 classes, as you can see. Once you pick your class, you go into customizing the character and its features, and you can choose different type of faces, eyes, makeup, whatever you want to do. And I was automatically in love with that. I was like, oh, I can make whatever characters I want, and everything was really pretty. The graphics to that was very nice, and I was happy. I was a happy camper. Once you're done making your OP character, you get thrown into the game. You get this little ghost bot thing that I named mine Steve. That was mine. That was his name. And the game turns from feeling like Mass Effect to feeling like Borderlands. The little ghost bot kind of being like Claptrap, being your little guardian, kind of helping you out, because from the beginning you get kind of resurrected from this death that you were in, and he starts teaching you. He starts telling you, hey, this is what's going on. We might want to get the fuck out of here. There's things that want to kill you. And that felt like Borderlands. And from the beginning, I may or may not have killed myself to kind of see the limitations of the game. And sure enough, it took me to this whole respawn screen, which again reminded me of Borderlands, but it did have its own little twist to it. So going into the gameplay, into the mechanics and how you play, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are more interested in seeing the gameplay itself. And so it's a little bit different. It's a first-person shooter, but you do have this melee thing. For me, the class that I picked, I had a melee shiv kind of knife thingy. And I'm pretty sure in the other classes you have a different thing. Some of them look like they're bionic kind of thing. But with mine, it was a shiv. And as far as guns are concerned, you do end up collecting monies that you can spend at the city kind of like hub place, which is what I'm going to get into next. This game kind of has this whole MMO feeling, kind of like Final Fantasy, where you have this like town's plaza and it's kind of like the central hub. As you can see, you have like real-time people here, you have real players, and it's a little bit different. I've never seen this in a game before. It's a server, and the thing about it is it doesn't seem like it's very laggy, which is a plus. And pretty much you have these little shops that you go to upgrade your weapons, your armor, you go to buy things. In this central location, you go to pick up your main missions. From what it seems like, you do the story, you kind of go and talk to people here. As far as starting missions, you kind of bring up this whole little menu, which kind of reminds me of, again, Mass Effect, where it's kind of centered around this whole like ship thing. And then you go and you pick what planet you want to go to and what section of the planet you want to go to. So it's kind of grabbing a lot of little ideas from all over the place, which is kind of interesting, the way that this company is making this game, which is different. It is different. So finally, the last part of my review is the co-op. I know that a lot of games recently that are being released are co-op oriented, and it's kind of strange because there has been co-op in previous games throughout the years, but the way that the companies are doing it nowadays, the developers, is a little bit different. You have games like Watch Dogs where people can hack you at any time. You have the new game AC Unity where you're interacting with people in your own game. And it's a little bit different the way that this game has it. Again, I was wandering around at some point in time doing my own mission, and you see people in real time doing their own mission on the same server that you're playing on, which is really weird, the way you can interact with the same things that they're interacting with without having any type of connection. And to me, that sold it to me. I was like, dude, this is really interesting. This is really fun. It reminds me of the Final Fantasy MMO, where we can play together without being together. And I'm not sure how or in what way we connect to each other's worlds, as far as me being on my world and them just being around me. I'm not sure how that works, but it's just a really interesting concept, and I really enjoyed it. I ran into this guy, I started stabbing him, and we ended up doing this whole co-op thing, and the transition between your world to their world is smooth. It's really quickly. You don't have to like exit the game. You don't have to re-enter the game. It's all done within a little bit of time, a few seconds, literally. And that was really interesting to me, because usually when you're trying to enter other people's games, you kind of have to, back out of your own game, kind of load into their game. But it was almost instantaneously. And when we started playing, we just picked up where we left off, while we were dancing, and we went and we did his missions. And the only thing that I saw was a little bit difficult to kind of get through is that when you are playing with somebody and you're down, they can revive you. So it goes back to the whole Borderlands kind of thing, where you can pick up your falling troops and whatever. And if I get downed, I either have to wait like a period of 30 seconds before I can respawn myself, or I could get picked up by my teammate. But as I started playing with this guy, he started to get down. We started to get mauled by these creature monster things, which I'm not so sure what the purpose of them are. I didn't really get into that far into the story to know. But they started, ganking us. They were all over us, and at some point he kept dying. And so at that point, if the host ends up dying, if everybody dies and the host dies and I die, it's game over. You have to start all over again from the beginning of the wave. And that's a little bit frustrating, especially when you have these creatures that are legitimately ganking you, and they're coming at you, and there's almost nothing you can do in the beginning. We were legitimately stuck there for a good 30 minutes because of how much these monsters kept ganking us. And so it's a little bit different. The combat's a little bit different, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing again, but I did have fun. Eventually we did get past the whole level where we were getting owned, and I'm not gonna lie, I did go ham. But anyways, the co-op is gonna be different. It is gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be very, very fun. Through the whole menu, when you choose what planet you want to go to, it does tell you that it's between 1 and 3 players, so it seems like the co-op is going to be stuck to 3 players kind of thing, which is a little bit different. Usually it kind of goes to 4 players and kind of go from there, but it does have a max of 3 players, so I don't know what to say about that, but it's just a different game, and I really, really enjoyed it so far. How much game time I've spent on it, I've enjoyed it, and it's really fun. And so, do I recommend you guys getting it? I recommend you guys watching more trailers and seeing how this game develops, because from the beta it was already very nicely done. Everything looked nice, but again, I didn't really spend that much time playing it, so I don't know if things have changed since. But yeah, that's pretty much my review of the Destiny beta. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions to ask me about anything, I am free. I'm gonna try to answer as many questions as I can, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. So like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully the game is awesome. We'll see. Bye-byes.